All right, good morning. Welcome to Ask the Experts. It is Friday. That is right. This day is all about you. It's an opportunity for you to ask your question. So whether you're dating, in a committed courtship, engaged, married, whatever your relational status may be, maybe you would say is complicated. Maybe you're separated right now on the verge of divorce. This is an opportunity to ask the question to get the answers that you need to take your life and your relationship to the next level. There would be no better way to answer these questions and to give you what you need if I did not have my co-host here, my brother, the co-founder of Foundry, Jeff Witt. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. It's been an interesting morning.
Awesome. So listen, we have a lot to dive into. We have some questions that have already come to us, but we want to give you an opportunity to ask your questions. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and on the other side of this, get ready because it's going to be a five-storm. Now, like I've said, some of you, you go to a pool party, everybody's waiting on the sidelines for the first person to jump in. And then once the first person jumps in, then everybody jumps in the pool. And stop being a spectator. Stop being a follower. Be the initiator. Come in here to get what you want. Don't wait till we're 20 minutes in before you post a question and then get mad because we only have 10 minutes left. We got 30 minutes to do this thing. So come and get it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, we're back as Ask the Experts. Listen, before we dive in, I want to give a shout out to the community, for all of you Moving Forward members showing up every single Monday to get what you need and working with your practitioners. Listen, you are on a year journey, and I love what I see. I love the growth. I love the transformation. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for tuning in the mornings. My Foundry men, you know who you are, whether you're Foundry, Foundry Mastery, Foundry Fortunes. The fact that you come on and watch this show to figure out how you can be a better husband to your wives, a better father to your children, and a better man in the community, we appreciate you. And to all the Unearthed women, that's right, even those in Unearthed Mastery who are killing it and crushing it to become their best selves. Thank you for tuning in. All right, Jeff, we want to go back in. One of the biggest questions that people have really been struggling with is trust. When the trust has been lost, how to restore it back? How can I get my spouse to become a believer in me and a believer in this process? I know that some of the Foundry men have been struggling with this. What say you?
Well, trust, a lot of people think it's a choice. So it's kind of like, we want to go back and tell people, hey, how come you don't trust me? I've been doing all this stuff. And the truth of the matter is trust is not 100% consensual. It's actually very much like the security systems on your computer. When you've been hacked and you've been raided and things have gone wrong, you put in new security measures, and this is done subconsciously. And what happens is what the trust hormone, and we talk about this in Foundry Mastery, the trust hormone is oxytocin. And what has happened is new barriers have been put up to keep you from being able to produce oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical, as easily. So we have to look at look at what's going on underneath in our actions, and have to look at the subroutines that have been recreated. So a lot of times we want to go back in and think that just because we're not doing the wrong thing anymore, we're going to get that trust back. And that's not the answer. The answer is you have to learn the new subroutine. You have to figure the new way of recreating that chemical, that bond of trust. The easiest answer is be consistent. But there are some hacks that can help you get there even faster if you understand them.
And what would just give us one hack that can give somebody something to work with?
Okay, so oxytocin lasts in the body for about 4 to 7 hours. So if I go through my normal morning routine and come home and then want to establish this trust with my wife and she's not as receptive to it, it's because she's had all day to think about all the bad stuff that's happened. Okay. And when you come home, it's kind of like, oh, now you want some affection after you're tired and you come home. Truth of the matter is that if I start my day by doing something special for my wife, something very unique, something interesting, and that actually shows that I care, that's very different from my normal routines. That new routine that I'm establishing that shows that I care will last for 4 to 7 hours, which means by the time you're coming home, she's just running out and will want that oxytocin boost again. So one of the things I do with my wife, and this is just a quick hack, and you can copy this, but I wouldn't overdo it because remember your wives are listening to the show too. Think of something unique for yourself. I know that on days that the kids go to school, she wakes up at exactly 6:30 because that's when her alarm goes off. So I'm always up earlier than that. I make sure that I'm standing over her at 6:29, just giving her little baby kisses and waking up. And she's like, no, I want to go back to sleep. The alarm didn't go off. And I'm like, nah, baby, I'm your alarm clock. And because I do this little cuddly thing that's very affectionate in the morning, it's very intentional. It shows that I'm thinking about her. It creates a bond that lasts, that chemical lasts in her for about 4 to 7 hours. It gets her through her day. Then I can do little things throughout the day to keep that going. So when we come home, there's warm embraces, there's hugs, there's real affection that creates more oxytocin. And if I'm consistent in this approach, I'm using a hack to get it there, but my consistency keeps it there. If I break my consistency, what happens is they'll create another new subroutine, and you're going to have to learn on something completely new. And it gets harder and harder and harder every time you violate. So the idea is be consistent, yes, but if you can do little things to inject a little bit of trust hormone by doing things that are kind, affectionate, and show you care, it creates the bond early and lasts throughout the day. What say you, Hassani? Did I lose you?
Okay, I think there was a slight delay, but I think we heard the gist of what you were saying. So consistency ultimately is what you're saying, understanding the hormones, understanding how to tap and hack into it, but doing these things 1 or 2 times creates inconsistency and breeds more distrust because fine, you